We're holding in Daf, in Bava Kama, Daf Yud Beis. We're starting at Yud Aleph Amud Beis towards the bottom. Few lines before the bottom, it's basically 6 lines from the bottom. Or actually, actually 8 lines from the bottom. So this Daf brought a list of memers of Rav Ula, Omar, Rav Loza. Some different things have nothing to do with each other, Pashtus. It's something you see here. There is a connection, but it's a list of items that Rav Ula said in the name of Rav Loza. And now we're going to, I believe, the last one. Omar Ula, Omar, Rav Loza. Hilchasa goyvi min avodim. Your goyvi, when a lender comes to take out his loan, he can take it from avodim, from slaves. Did Rav Ula say? So Rav Nachman asked Ula, is it also from Yisayimim that you can take a loan, extract it? No, only from him. Now, what's the difference between Minei or Yisayimim? The difference is, what can you take from Yisayimim? What are you allowed to take?
Only car.
Excellent. Only car. No money. No mentality. So if you're telling me Yasmi, it means you're treating an Evet like a karka, like a land. If you're not telling me Yasmi, you're not treating him like a land. So, for Minei, you can take also mentality, you can take also Evet. And this is really what the Sugya is going to discuss. The Sugya is Evodim have a karka or not? That's the discussion. So says the Gemara, he says you take from Avodim. Oh, but you're saying too, you mean the din of a karka? It says Lo Minei. It says Minei, so what's the Chiddush? Minei afilu miglima da kasvei. Minei, you take it even from the clothing on that he's wearing. I mean, you can take it from everything. Of course, you take it from the avodim. Hakom askin shasoya apoitiki. Talking about that he made it apoitiki, meaning he made the evet apoitiki. And the idea is that even though he sold it, he still can go and take away from the evet. He made his evet apoitiki, meaning apoitiki. This will be your extraction of your loan. The Baal Choy can take it from him.
What happens is Meshachar?
What?
What happens if he's Meshachar?
Oh, so that we learned in Maseches Gittin. Hegdish Chaz Shichur Mefkim Yeshivut. There is such a thing that Shichur takes away. But if he sold it, he's great for him. If he made his ox apoitiki and he sold that, any Baal Choy grave in the Baal Choy cannot grave it. My time was the difference. High is the kola, less the kola. By Evet, there is a call. There is people hear about the fact that they have a change ownership. That there's a loan. There's a loan. Well, I apologize. There's a loan, so the borrower should know. The buyer should know. He should do some research. You'll find out this Evet is Meshubat and should not buy it. It's his fault. Sure, you don't know who the owner is. So that was how the story started, right? So the Rav Ula is quoting a blazer. Rav Ula is quoting a blazer. It says Rav Blazer said that you could take from Avodim. So told him Rav Nachman, even from Yisayimim, meaning do you treat it as a karka? Said no, from him. Him, what's the chiddush? Chiddush is a poetic. Says the Gemara now that he's based on Aleph. Levosa did not fuck after he left. Rav Nachman left the room. So Ula told him, Hachi Omar Blazer. This is what Blazer says. Afilu miasme. Even for Yisayim. So what's going on over here? Ula did not want to tell in front of Rav Nachman that Rav Blazer said even for Yisayim. Because he knew that Rav Nachman disagreed with it. So he didn't want to say it in front of him. It's the Chazon Ish. Everybody quotes the Chazon Ish. Chazon Ish here, in the Chazon Ish in the Sefer Emunu B'Tochon, says that you have a concept called Mishani B'nei Shalom. You can lie for the purpose of Shalom. So you for sure can change the name. He didn't want to go down to an argument of learning and cause a fight. So he just said, no, he meant when not from Yisayim, not a karka. But really, Simon Akaki just didn't want to start a debate with Rabbi Nachman. So he said, even if Rabbi Nachman said, Ishtamitin Ulo. Ulo is trying to run away from me, doesn't want to argue with me. Meaning he did not want to start the argument. So that's why he didn't tell me the truth. But and the word goes on and says, in Nardo there was a story about with this case. He had an Eved, it was a Shubat. And the Nardo took away the Eved from the Yeshiva. From the story. From the Yeshiva. I'm not going to sow against it. He told them, Zilu Aduru, go back and return it to the Yeshiva. If not, I'll take away your palaces. Meaning, this is a wrong halacha. Stoiz points out over here, when do we go ahead and have to change the din? When someone does a Torah b'dvar Mishnah. A mistake, which is a basic mistake. According to Nachman, this is a basic mistake. I consider avodim to be a karka is a basic mistake. It's the Torah b'dvar Mishnah. It's something which is cleared out like that. And if anybody does it, he's liable to return for his own money. Rabbi told Rav Nachman, how Ulo? Ulo said that he holds that avodim, even for B'Shem. How Rabbi Lazar? Ulo called Rabbi Lazar. How that you did Idor that we said they pass kan halacha that you get rid of avodim. And Rabbi Bizda said the same thing. So they all agree that avodim you go from the Yesayim. Why are you arguing? Who do you hold like? It's a fish brisa. The Tanya Avimi Pruzbul Chal ala Karko. Ve'inu Chal ala Avodim. Pruzbul, what's a Pruzbul? Pruzbul is a star, we write in the end of Shat Shmito to say that the loan is not Mishamit. Plus the Kono, as brought down in Mesechus Gittin, Hillel said, the Shmit is not Mishamit. Okay. In order to write a Pruzbul, you must have a Karka. Why you must have a Karka? Simple understanding is because someone who has no karka, as dover shloish shchiach, is not so common. Especially, it's not so common to have a loan against somebody who has no karka. So therefore, you have a it's a bit malva, but the point is, in order to go and do a pruzul, you must have a karka over here. A more deeper understanding is that you have a way to be goyvet when you have a karka. You must have a karka. You must have a land. Says you write a pruzvul on karka, but not on avodim. So what do you see from here? That avodim are not karka. Metaltin karka, you could buy metaltin karka, meaning the simple understanding is kinyan agav. What's a kinyan agav? You're coining a karka. In agav the karka, you're coining the metaltin. Veinam nikim avodim, you can't coin the metaltin agav eved. So you see from here that wow, the eved is not a karka. That she brings it right. It's not a karka. Now, Toyes asks the question. Toyes says, we find many places that avodim do have a din of a karka. Fine. The Gabe know, the Gabe Shmuel. Says Toyes, that he were talking about din derabbanan. To be going me the same in the kuchas. Because the old shibud lav deraisa. So Toyes learns what shibud lav deraisa means. In the right, you can't extract a loan from somebody else. Here you want to, because you would otherwise they want to say is the Rabbanon. They made up this idea. You could take money, you could take property out of the buyer. Is that something that they treated the Eved like a karka or like a metaltin? When we bring a rayo, even regarding shibud, we treat an Eved like metaltin. That's the route to bring these specific rights. Other Rishonim argues, the Rishonim, and they hold Shibudu is their Raiso, and still avoid don't even the Karka. The question is why you bring a rice that specifically from here and never somebody else, somewhere else. Says the Gemara, Lemek at the night. What's the Machlik tonight? Machar loy avodim v'gakos. Someone sold avodim in the Karka. He sold to somebody avodim in the Karka. If you hold on to avodim, it's not according to the Karka. They're not connected. Vice versa also. You hold the karka, not koine avodim. We'll see in the Gemara in the morning what does it mean. Karka is metaltalim. If it was karka metaltalim, yichzik la karka koine metaltalim. If you hold on to the karka, it's koine metaltalim. Why? That's just agav. Agav the karka is koine metaltalim. Metaltalim, if you hold on to the metaltalim, lo yikono karka. Why? Because metaltalim cannot be koine karka. Avodim metaltalim. If he has evidence metaltalim, yichzik avodim lo koine metaltalim. Avodim not koine metaltalim with it. We'll see in a second why not. Talking lo kono avodim. The same thing, the opposite. Says the Gemara of Vatani, says the Brayse, Chzik bavodim koine metaltalim. That if you hold avodim, you are koine metaltalim. It does work with the kin and agav of the evet. My la back of you. What's the machlekes? The marso avodim kivekarke. I mean, therefore you can be koine agav the evet. You can be koine metaltalim. Umarso avodim kivetaltalim. I mean, therefore you can't koine agav metaltalim. That's the machlekes. How do you treat the evet? It says the more Iko break of Ami the Kula Alma Vodi Kemikargida. Everybody holds the evidence of Karko. The Tanya Kono Shofi. One says Koine Shofi because it's what Kenyan Hagav. Hatai Loikono Beinam Karka Dumio the Ori Mitsuris Yehudo the Loi Naini. How do you know this idea of Agav? We learn from a pasuk. It says the father gave the children, metaltalim, the was going to bring in a moment, with Arim Mitzuras B'Yudom, with a walled city of Yehuda. And that's you learn Agav. The walled city of Yehuda is not moving. So it's almost exact as a cost. You learn that Agav works, even something is karka, if it's a movable karka, you don't say Agav. Shenkin, if it's not movable, you say Agav. It has nothing to do if it's called karka or not. And the Gemara says that it says in the Mishnah. Meaning metaltalim, that's called chos she'ein macharis because you don't know where they're going to be. The koine mechosiv she'esh macharis, which means that's kinyan agav. Bekas b'shtar b'chazok. Once you do kas b'shtar b'chazok, how do we know that? Omar Chizkiah Lamakov V'Yitel Lehem Aviem. It says in the pasuk, V'Yitel Lehem Aviem Atonos Rabbis the Kesef Ulazov Ulimigdanois. He gave them gifts, gold, silver, and food. Im Ori B'Tzuris B'Yehuda, with the cities of Yehuda. Meaning, by buying the cities of Yehuda, he bought all these metaltalim. So this, what does Gemara say according to this answer? Avodim Avadin Ave Karka, and therefore. There's one of the oldest koine metaltalim agav eved metaltalim agav karka. Why couldn't mandoma you can't? Because the definition of agav is not karka, but it's immovables, and the eved is movable. So says the Gemara, Ikedami. Some say. Everybody is eved everyone agrees that avodim metaltalim. Had the Tanya loy kono shofi, not calling him kinagav because it's not in a karka. Had the Tanya kono beoidomalo. The metaltalim are on the eved, so he's calling the eved, he's calling the metaltalim. Says the Gemara, who cares? Why should you be calling the metaltalim on the eved? It's a moving chotzer, and moving chotzer is not koine. Then you'll tell me that it's not moving. If he's moving, it's not koine. So if he's standing and sitting, is also not koine. Doesn't matter the fact that he's not moving right now. The fact that he could be moved. The law is that he is tied up. He's tied up. That's why he's not moving. That's his koine. He didn't get in a chotzer. Now, so this is the idea that I'll give it to right? Now, when the Gemara says that he's kafus, he's not moving, Toys brings over here, is he also sleeping? If you remember, Mesechus Gittin, you saw twice, that it says Yoshin, and it says kafus. The Gemara asked about Chotza Ma'aleches, the Gemara said, but it's moving, so the Gemara is sleeping, but he could get up, he's tied up. So Rashi and Teres learns it means he has to be tied and sleeping. Because if he's awake, he has his own das, even though he can't move. If he's sleeping, he doesn't have das, but he couldn't move. So you have to have both. But the Rambam argues, we can feel the Gemara brings over here, Another Rishonim, they hold that tied up is enough. You don't have to be sleeping. So machlekes, you have to have both per night. Says the Gemara about time. It says in the Brayso, "Ichzi bakarka kon avodim." It says in another Brayso, if you hold in the car, you're kohen avodim, and that's a steer to the previous Brayso. That if you ichzi bakarka loy kon avodim, what's the difference? Says the Gemara also on boidim b'toicho. I mean, here the avodim are in the field, so that's what the kohen, the karka with the avodim became the chotzer. Michal dai loy konos. When it says not kohen, they're not in the field. So that's why when you're holding in the karka, you're not going to the avodim. So if you hold it, everybody has different metaltalim, movables. If they're inside, you're going to chotzer, if not. Why you need them to be in the field? If a person buys 10 fields in 10 different countries, you hold on to one of them, you couldn't all of them. Because all karkas are considered to be connected. You understand? Everything has a name of a karka. If it has a name of a karka, it's also connected. So why were you creating the karka and not creating the Evid? So they go over the time, according to you, if you hold Evid, is looking metal to him. Why are you saying it needs to be inside? You said, oh, then it's everything understood, it has to be inside. Why has to be inside? Let's see that from base on base. We learned in Maseches Kiddushin that for Kinyan Agav, you don't have to have the metaltim in the field. They can be anywhere to do Kinyan Agav. So if you hold that there's a metaltim, so why don't you say that when you're cutting the karka, you're cutting it wherever he is? Says the Moya, you have to say when a metaltim is moving on its own, it's different. And that's why usually Kinyan Agav works wherever it is. But that's only if it's not moving. If it is moving, it has to be in the chotzer. It's also when you're coining one karka, to be coining all the karkas in the world, it needs to be only a karka which is not moving. If the karka is moving, not. That's why I have is not nikrik now. The entire land is connected. The whole world is one big piece of land. So you look at the whole world as one place. If it's one place, what is it? Connected. You coordinate all the different areas of the field, and that's why you coordinate one from each other. What is the Gemara coming to say right now? The Gemara says there's two ways to understand. Do I look like as a heaven as a karka? I look as a heaven as a metal. If you say that so the Gemara has a problem according to both. If you hold that heaven as a karka, so why does the Evid have to be in the field to be nikra with the field? Why can't it be outside and nikra? Because when you buy a karka, you're coordinating any karka in the world with it. I can be coordinating a few karkas together, one in America, one in Israel. You can do it in one shot. So says the Gemara, what about metaltin? If it is metaltin, so why are you coordinating it? If you coordinate the karka, why are you coordinating the metaltin? Because of Agav. Because of Agav, it doesn't have to be in it. Why are you coordinating to be in it? Same way, we have to say, when you have a moving metalton or moving, it's not considered to be the same thing as regular metalton. So also the same thing with a moving karka. If you consider everything to be karka, if it's moving, it's not part of the karkas. And the Gemara says there's a svara to it because all the karkas are considered to be connected in one big earth. Everything's not connected to it. So that's why you're creating a karka, you're not creating the everything is considered to be moving, and that's a maskano. You see both ways. You can say the everything is a karka, you can say everything is a metalton, and you can still say it's not creating what's not in the field. In both cases. Now, going back to what we mentioned before, just to mention once again, going back to Machlokes Rishonim, is the Evid didn't have a karka within the Reis or within the Rabbanon. Here you get a little more into trouble because L'chor Kinyanim is in the Reis. Going for a pasuk regarding Kinyan Agav. So you want to tell me you could? So what? How are you treating now Evid only with the Rabbanon? You have to say Rabbanon made it work like a karka. If you want to say it's a karka, it's a little more of a kiddush. You have to say. You have to stretch. I had to say that it has a din of a karka. Okay, says the Gemara. Learned in the Mishnah that the nechasim that you chayev is only nechasim that have no meila, meaning not kosher. Says the Gemara, meilu delays, but mikdash kachi. Mashma, so the Gemara is a dayak. It doesn't say nechasim shein and kedoshim. It says nechasim shein meila. Now, what is meila? Mehila din is when you have Kodesh Kadoshim, and the person goes and eats the Kodesh Kadoshim. What's the din? He's chayav korban Mehila. He's chayav when Mehila has to pay for it. He has to be a korban. That's a special din. Does this apply to all Kodshim? No. It applies only to Kodesh Kadoshim, not Kodesh Kalim. Kodesh Kalim, there's no Mehila. Now, is a Kodesh Kalim your moment or not? That's a machlekes. If one holds it's not yours, basically holds it is yours. So the Gemara says the fact that our Mishnah says that the requirement in order for you to be chayav in Ezekiel, there's no Mehila. Bashra, if there's no Mehila but it's still Kodshim, you're still chayav in it. Because if you would tell me that every Kodshim in Achav, just saying it has to be not Kodshim. The fact that you're saying Shem Mehila, Masha, you could have something which has no Mehila and it's still Kodshim, and you'll be chayav in it. So that's the Gemara says. Says the Gemara, Kodshim Kalim. So says the Gemara, Mehila udulai leis po mikdash Kodshim. There's no Mehila, but there is hektish. Matana uzatano Rabbi Yochanan Kodshim Kalim. A little bit of basically lido amar moment by limu. So basically, the Kodshim belongs to the bayis. That's if you mazik it, you have to pay him. The Tanya, umola umola b'Hashem. Says that a person has din Mehila. Lirabois. Sorry, not Mehila. Umola b'Hashem is someone who's lying for somebody else, and he says a shvuah that he doesn't owe him. So he has to pay someone who he lied to. He has to pay what he took away from him. Says the Gemara, the rabbis Kodshim Kalim Shemoni Divir basically goes according to basically that's coming down Kodshim Kalim. And therefore, what you see that's his moment. So therefore, if you did a nezik to it, or you chayav. So more about tonight. It says in the Mishnah, Mekadesh B'Chelkoi Ben Kodshim Kalim and Kodshim Kalim and Kodeshes. If a person goes and use Kodshim Kadoshim, or Kodshim Kalim to do Kiddushin, goes a kohen and uses his chelik of the Kodshim to be Mekadesh Yeshiva Dam Kodeshes. You see, it's not his. Lema de look at that's like a Bisagli. It's like, I feel tame rabbis. What?
That's the Baal, not the Kohen.
The Kohen was the Baal. Talk about the same person. The Kohen was using his chelik Kodshim Kalim.
No, but his chelik, was it his carbon? He just his chelik in the carbon.
It's chelik in the carbon. It's his.
Yeah, but it's not his. That's a
Why?
difference than the Baal.
Oh, let's see. So only while the animal is alive, the bailing, then it's considered to be yours. After shchita, when once it's dead, you're zoyich mishulin gavoya. It's not yours. It belongs to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu is giving you a piece. We'll get back to that in a moment. So when it's still alive, you want to tell me that then has a din of it belongs to you. It says in the Mishnah, Bechor is an animal who was born firstborn, has din kedusha. So when it's tam, you can sell it, and then the one who buys it should wait for it to get a mum. Or if it's a mum, you can sell it alive or dead. You can do kedusha with it. It's only today. The cave until because there's no akrava, so therefore there is a schus abayli. But in time is mikdosh, then it is going to put in the mizbeach. Why not? Because it's considered to be kodshim, belongs to Hashem, even when it's alive. So you see, even when it's alive, it doesn't belong to the grain. Now here, the Bava explains over here. Why does it have to do? Yeah, basically, doesn't have Mikdash. So Yeshiva is only a technical thing. Okay, bring korban, carry a korban. The definition, what is it? Why does it change? So you see from here, it says the Bava, the Posh we're talking more, just brings it to all the Mekayros. See from here, the definition of a korban is not the status of his kedusha, but if it's able to be nikra or not. If you can put it in the mizbeach, so that it's meant for the mizbeach. If you can't put it in the mizbeach, even though maybe it has a kodshim, it doesn't have the same thing. So Rav asked a question. We said it is his moment. So why are you saying over here that you can't use it to do kiddushin? Says the Gemara, Mishani Ravino, Bebchor B'chutzlaretz, V'ali B'Dem Shimon, It's according to, we talk about Bchor and Chutzarts. According to Yeshiva Dama, in both we mean im krovu, that if you Bchor and Chutzarts, you don't have to bring the base of English. If you bring it, it'll be a curve. In both we mean curve. In both in the Chatchila light, oh in the Chatchila, not. Right? So what is going to say? What it says? So before we go to back to our sugya, what it said, Bechor, when Base of English is Kayim, is not yours. Bechor is not yours. So why is it not yours? Hi, basically it says the Kochu Kalim is yours. No, basically it says it's yours only when it's in Chutzah, it's not coming to the carbon. But if it's coming for a carbon, it's not yours. Question what you just said, and when it's alive, it is yours. So the Gemara, basically, if you hold the while it's alive, then it is yours. So says the Gemara that you deal with basically so you should say no. Whatever it says that you could do it, it's basically. Whenever you say you can't do Kiddush, it's Rabbanon. Says the Gemara, no. Bchor is different. Madas Kahuna Kohamat. Want to bring up, you speak about Madas Kahuna? Shani Madas Kahuna, the Chikazoch, Mishul Gavoya Kazoch. Madas Kahuna is different. So Madas Kahuna, even when it's alive, it's Mishul Gavoya. Why? Because it is. Why Bechor is yours? Because the Baruch Hu went and gave the Kohen the Madas Kahuna. So even when I'm getting the Mishul Gavoya Kazoch, so I can't do Kiddush. So Kachim Kali, when it's still mine, before I shechted it, when it's still alive, it belongs to the owner to do whatever he wants. Because what is the Kachim really Kachim Kali? That he was noidif. It's my animal, and I made the animal Kaddish, so this is still my animal until I bring it to the korban. Once I shecht it, then it goes to Mizbech. Now whoever eats it eats from Mitzad Ma, Shul Kavaya Kazov. Says the one, what about Bchor? Bchor is even when he's alive. Why does the Kohen get the animal as a Bchor? Because it's Matas Kahuna. Matas Kahuna is also something that Kushbul gave to the Kohen, Midin, Shul Kavaya Kazovu, and he is not considered to be a no. Asked if Yosef Engel, in the Sefer as on the right, so in Ois base. Yosef Engel, Kohen Oilam, he brings the following very famous Chikira. That's what he speaks about Ois base. He wants to ask, what is the deal of a Truma? Is Truma, how do you define Truma? Is a Tevel, a combination of Truma and Chulin, or it's a new thing called Tevel? In Minyan Lein and Boy saying he gets Aruchas Doilo, he goes out to speak about that the Gemara tells me that Truma is also considered to be Shulchan Gavoya Kazoch. He has a problem. Like Truma, the Kohen could use the Truma for Kiddushin. So we asked the Yosef Engel, what's the difference in that country? We just said a country we can't use for Kiddushin because we Shulchan Gavoya Kazoch. I'm getting from Kishbol's table. So why Truma should be different? That's what he asks. So Zog to Yosef Engel. There's a chiluk between. There's different types of Mishul Gavoya Kazoch, two different types. Zwei dinim. There's Mishul Gavoya Kazoch, listen to this, Mamash Gavaldik concept. Mishul Gavoya Kazoch, the Yuzoiche as a guest. Someone has the balabos, he wants to bring people to his house, he says, come to me. I want to give you the delicious, salmon fish. Go to my house. So you're a guest at my house. You're not a balabos. I'm giving you a gift. It's yours. Sometimes Shulchan Gavoya Kazoch means that you're eating on, like we use the lotion somewhere else, Ataka de Rachmana. We're eating on the table of Hashem. That's the regular Karbonis in Matas Kahuna. Shmuel was telling the Kohen, come to me, I'll take care of you. But Truma is different. Truma is something that belongs to the Kohen. And that's why, even though it says Shul Gavoya Kazachu, but it goes Shul Gavoya not as a guest. Shul Gavoya is a gift to the Kohen. So that's why he is able to be Kaddish Eishel. Azoy Zok Yosef Engel, as in the Raisa his base. Yesh Oid La'ayin Bezeh. But we will stop over here and Be'ez Hashem continue tomorrow at an unknown time.
Remember we'll be doing Hilchos Shabbos.